we talk about price tags. It is zero price tag on the debt. So they say it's not, people understandably, well, it started off at 6 trillion, now it's 3.5 trillion, now is it going to be 2.9? It's going to be zero. Zero.
Build Back Better package is now going to be smaller than $3.5 trillion. But you have been saying that it costs zero.
Let's not dumb this down for the American public here. How much the top line investments are, which are all paid for, so therefore it costs zero.
This plan costs $0 when the CBO says it at least adds $160 billion to the debt.
Not too much data. Let's just not in training the IRS and hiring more people, but they don't weigh in the upside of what you get from that in terms of increased collection of taxes. And also, it's a deterrent because people will know that now there are more people looking at the tax returns.
Kamala Harris.
And also, what else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up. Point that is important to make on the Build Back Better framework. One, it is designed to make it less expensive for working people to live. It was specifically designed to bring down the costs of childcare and increase accessibility and availability. Designed to bring down the cost of elder care and make it available to all those working families that need that support and need that help. And Build Back Better is not going to cost anything. We're paying for it.
Let's start with a natural gas tax that anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year won't spend a dime. In the bill, a tax that, according to the American Gas Association, will increase household electricity rates by 30%. And by the way, that's low-income families that pay that tax the hardest. IRS agents. How many of us have our phones ringing off the hooks with people calling saying, please add 87,000 more IRS agents to the rolls? They call this infrastructure. They call this equity, whatever they want to call it. It's an army of IRS agents that are going to come for your bank account. We're here after 9 p.m. starting to get into the details of this bill. No wonder they don't want a CBO score. No wonder they want to do this by dark of night. This is going to induce more inflation that's hurting families all across America.
If I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no.
Wait! Traitor!
I think what Senator Manchin did yesterday represents such an egregious breach of the trust of the president.
I think he's going to have a lot of explaining to do to the people of West Virginia, to tell them why he doesn't have the guts to take on the drug companies and lower the cost of prescription drugs.
We all knew that Senator Manchin couldn't be trusted. The excuses that he just made, I think, are complete bull.
We're now on 5.5 straight years of no amendments being offered on the floor of this august chamber. I'd just like to remind the American people every once in a while that what they saw about how a bill becomes a law is a complete fraud. See, there's a handful of people who get into a room and they decide what you're going to vote on. And the speaker knows it's true, and my colleagues on the other side of the aisle know it's true, and my colleagues on this side of the aisle know it's true because they did it when they were in the majority just as much as my colleagues on the other side of the aisle did it when they were in the majority. We get a massive bill dropped on our desk and we say, take it or leave it. Go offer an amendment in rules, they say. never taken, never accepted, always pre-chosen, always pre-gamed out. This is the constitutional order. What value is there for an election certificate if you can't use it? You come to the floor and you want to offer an amendment in good faith to try to make a piece of legislation better, and you can't do it. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 people max who decide everything that goes on in this chamber in all of their infinite wisdom. And then we come down and we look at the board and it's party line votes, and then it's walk out on the steps and go give a speech and go to the press and go on Twitter and go on Facebook and go talk about why you're voting no or yes. That's what we're relegated to in the United States House of free stuff. Does anybody know what the difference is between $1 trillion or $1.2 trillion? Does anybody know the difference between $29 trillion of debt or $30 trillion of debt? Nobody knows or cares in this chamber. Literally not a lick. We never talk about it. And then each side comes down on the floor and offers more spending for whatever their priority is. Defense, non-defense, mandatory spending, non-mandatory spending. All we do is preen and posture and come down here with massive bills that have some of our priorities depending on who's in the majority. That's it. And again, we're relegated to being the United States House of free stuff. You got to call it free stuff because we're just printing the money to do the stuff. But we live in this fiction that we can just keep printing money. And the horrors of printing the money is not just that we have $30 trillion of debt. It's not just that we have rampant inflation. It's not just that we're undermining our dollar. It's not just that we're handing over power to China and every other country around the world to kick our rear ends. It's that we're funding a government to do things to us, to interfere with us.